And we are back on the record in cause number 2020-D03817, State of Texas versus Israel Bernal Herrera. Mr. Herrera, you were you had the opportunity to discuss any questions you had regarding your plea today with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you still wanting to proceed with your plea today?
No, Your Honor. Oh,
No?
yes. Oh, yes, sorry. Yes.
Okay. All right. So again, with respect to the plea papers marked as State's Exhibit number 1, did you read and understand everything contained within those plea papers?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Pages, have you had more than 10 days to prepare a defense in this case?
Yes, Judge, we have.
And did you explain the plea papers to your client?
I did, Judge.
Do you believe he has understood the admonishments, rights, and consequences of giving up these rights by entering his plea today?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Herrera, are you satisfied with your attorney's representation of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Pages, do you have any reason to believe your client is not presently competent to enter his plea?
No.
Are you all getting some lag in the video? I'm starting to see that now. Yes.
Yes, Judge.
Just a bit, yes.
Okay, I'm going to rely on you. Mr. Herrera, have you been able to hear everything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Mr. Herrera, have you ever been found incompetent by any court?
No, ma'am.
Ever been examined by a doctor or psychiatrist who's found you mentally ill?
No, ma'am.
So based on your testimony, your attorney's representations, and my observations of you, I'm going to find that you are competent to enter your plea. Sir, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where were you born?
Pomona, California.
Okay. In this case, you were charged by indictment with the offense of failure to register. That is a state jail felony, sir. To that charge, what is your plea? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you making your plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
I will find you are making your plea freely and voluntarily. Ms. Rocco, would you summarize the evidence, please?
Yes, Your Honor. If the state of Texas were to proceed a trial, the state would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt each and every element listed in the indictment and cause number ending in 3817. The state's agreement is 5 years probation, a $4,000 fine, probate $3,500, 200 hours of community service, court costs, UABA, curfew, any registration required by the statute, and plea to 2016-0C0-3730 and all other standard terms and conditions. At this time, the state moves to enter into evidence States Exhibit 1 and 2.
With respect to the plea agreement, was the plea on the misdemeanor still part of the agreement?
No, Judge, that was removed.
Okay. Is that your understand, Ms. Rago, I thought I had seen on the plea paperwork that the plea on the misdemeanor was removed as well.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. That I had old papers. That was my fault.
Okay, so the agreement is that there's no plea on a misdemeanor case, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So Ms. Pages, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
And Mr. Herrera, is that your understanding of the plea agreement as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then is there any objection to the state's exhibits?
No objection, Your Honor.
So state's exhibits 1 and 2 will be admitted. Mr. Herrera, understand that the plea agreement is not binding on the court. However, if I were to reject it, I would allow you to withdraw your plea. If I follow the plea agreement, you may not appeal this case except on matters raised by written motion and ruled on before trial or by permission of the court. The next document I'm going to ask you about is the one-page document entitled The Trial Court Certification of Your Right to Appeal. It is a document that explains your appeal rights. Because this is a plea bargained or negotiated case, you do not have an automatic right of appeal. Sir, do you recall reviewing the trial court certification with your attorney and signing that document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Signed by your attorney and signed by the court as well. So on your plea of guilty and the evidence introduced, I will accept your plea and at this time find the evidence substantiates your guilt. I will find you guilty of the offense of failure to register in accordance with the indictment. And I will sentence you according to the plea agreement to 2 years confinement of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice State Jail Facility that will be suspended for a period of 5 years of community supervision. There will be a $4,000 fine. The entirety of the fine I'm going to probate because of your indigency. There are 200 hours of community service that you'll have to complete. You're subject to urine and breath analysis, curfew from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. unless you are working or going to school, and court costs. Is there anything further, Ms. Pages or Ms. Rago?
Nothing from the state. Your
Judge,
Honor.
Judge, I just wanted to ask the court if, I believe Mr. Bernal Herrera is not vaccinated with the COVID vaccine. I don't know if the court is willing to give him some credit towards his community service hours. I know some of the judges have done that in the past or do that. I don't know if the court is willing to give him some credit if he does get that.
I will. I believe probation has some kind of matrix or just, what they value at a certain number of hours, and I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bernal. They should have some paperwork for you. Good luck to you, sir.